Some of you probably know me from a long time ago. Others, well, maybe not. I am a big fan of north of La Vista because I spent a lot of time over by the Kroger Shopping Center and Public Shopping Center when I was a teenager. And there's a lot more for me to do over there. Everybody knows that's where all the Civil War ghosts like to hang out. So many of you know Civil War actually had a lot of battles that occurred in our neighborhood. So that being said, Publix has the best subs. Gotta go with that one. Then we have Spicy Peach over there. And I believe that's those paninis are definitely some of the best things. And once again, Civil War ghosts really appreciate kosher paninis and in Toco Hills. Not just Civil War ghosts too, I believe everybody.
Sorry, Nathan, I'm just going to jump in here. I think you were talking more about the south part. We want you to talk about the other side of La Vista.
Oh, meaning heading towards Cheshire Bridge or heading towards...
No, imagine you're at Kroger, cross the street, now you're on the north side.
Oh, okay.
So imagine you're at Beth Jacob, cross the street, now you're on the north side.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about...
The streets you didn't grow up on.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so we have the nature preserve over there, which many of us that grew up in the neighborhood spent a lot of time in those woods. I mean, you got the creeks, you got probably Civil War battlegrounds too. I'm sure some of us have seen some ghosts there if you go in there at night. It's pretty spooky. I don't know if you'll know that. Then, we've got YOY over there, Target, which I think pretty much everybody's gone to in this neighborhood and really is a lifesaver there. Let's see, what do we have else? We've got the Siegelmans on the north side. Everybody likes to go over there. Let's see, what else is there? We've got Quality Kosher. We've got formerly Pita Ballas, now Toco Grill. Then we have the cheapest gas station in Toco Hills over on that side. Probably the better one out of the other two that we have there. And I don't think any more needs to be said, personally.
Yes, you're muted.
No, I see that. Thank you. Okay, excellent job, Nathan. And we're now going to move on to Team Orange. We have Yehonatan Schwartzmer, who is going to make the case now for the south side of La Vista. Go ahead, Yehonatan. We're going to spotlight you, and then you can get. Is Yehonatan here with us?
Now he is. He dropped off. I got him.
Okay.
Multi-pin. You got it, Rabbi?
Multi-pin, you said?
There we go.
Yehonatan, take it away.
There's no preamble or anything?
You must have missed that.
You missed the preamble. Yehonatan Schwartzmer is representing south of La Vista Road on behalf of the Orange team. Yehonatan, you're going to have 2 minutes, and we're going to have a 30-second warning. when you get close to your 2-minute limit, and then you're going to have a chance to argue it out a little bit more freely with Natan. And we can't see you, by the way.
Uh-oh. Can't see me. My Zoom say it's on. Can you bring the other computer?
We do see a beautiful palm tree blowing in the wind.
Oh, I see. Hang on one second. Background. How do I get away from the background?
No idea.
Sorry about that. I am not the only one who has used this computer, it seems. Aha. That's not better at all.
Your camera is off. If you're on a laptop, you might have that little thing to turn it on top, like to slide it on.
Can I have the other computer? No.
Well, we don't need faces. Let's go, Orange Team.
Alternately, F8 turns off and on your camera.
What does?
F8, at least it does on my laptop.
Where's your computer?
No.
No,
sorry.
that's okay. You could just start talking with the audio.
Okay, I will start talking with the audio.
Okay, take it away.
Okay, so we're talking south side of La Vista, right?
That's right. That's where you live.
Okay. I will tell you that I wasn't sure, even though I live here, which side I wanted to debate until I thought about who I want to agree with. Who else likes the south side? And so when I thought about what are people's perceptions? How do people think about the north side and the south side? And I realized most people who come to the north side of La Vista in Toco Hills are coming there because they want to go somewhere else. They're cutting through because they're on their way to whatever their real destination is. The south side of La Vista is exactly where people live. This is where people come, and they don't come here to go somewhere else. This doesn't cut through to any other place. When you come to the south side of La Vista, it's because you want to be here. Most people who come to the north side of La Vista don't want to be there. That's why they're on their way somewhere else. I also agree with Rabbi Feldman, but really I agree with both Rabbi Feldmans. Rabbi Feldman lives here on the south side of La Vista. His father, Rabbi Emmanuel Feldman, needed a place for the shul. Pick the south side of La Vista. I agree with the tellers because I think that putting the Spicy Peach here was a great move. I agree with Kosher Kroger, Kosher Publix, Spicy Peach, Brewster's, Menchie's, Duck Donuts just moved here. I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's less traffic, it's quieter, there's less crime, there's less waiting on a light to get to shul, fewer blackouts, fewer hills. I don't know, but whatever it is, I agree with most of these people. And I agree with Hashem, because the Pasuk in Zechariah talks about the streets of the city filled with boys and girls playing in its streets. South side of La Vista has no traffic, it's beautiful. You can always see people playing here. I agree with all of them.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Natan, would you like a rebuttal to that?
Sure, I can give a bit of a rebuttal there. As somebody who grew up on the south side of Toco Hills, I can tell you that I was always going to the north side as a kid. And he's absolutely right. South side is a shortcut. As many of you know, my late grandfather's house is the shortcut to pretty much get to, well, north side of Toco Hills. In addition to that, you do have definitely a lot of things on the south side, which I may know a little more about than you do, being a very much a local here. But Sublime has the best cake style donuts. I mean, you're talking about the red velvet. You're talking about the Reese's peanut butter cup donut. I mean, really. And then you've got the nitrogen hot chocolate, which for some reason, and I swear, has caffeine in it because it keeps me awake anytime I drink it at night.
Okay, that's great. That's great. What do you have to say, Jonathan, to that?
I was totally going to agree with you until you mentioned the donuts thing, because I've been to Duck Donuts.
Wow, that's a mic drop right there.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have been to Duck Donuts as well, but now I gotta say, I don't think it compares. Sublime is better to me.
Okay, excellent. Well, this is a perfect segue. Of course, this is a Jewish event. We're ending on a debate about food, and with that, I think unless Natan and Yehonatan, you have any final thoughts, we'll give you another few seconds. But if you think you've given it your all, we'll move on to the next topic. How does that sound?
Pretty good to me.
I do have one.
Oh yeah, please.
Oh.
I think Yehonatan may be a Civil War ghost because we can't see his face.
Ooh, there you go. Okay, sometime after this, we'll have to get the two of you guys together so that you can confirm that he's in fact a human being.
I was just going to say that it might make sense to, instead of ending on the food, to end on the classic Jewish way of figuring out how to decide a debate, which is following the majority. And since it seems the majority likes the South and passes through the North, that's how I decide.
Okay, very effective point. Appreciate that. Wonderful. Okay, great job, guys. That was the end of topic 1, North versus South. And what we're going to do, let me just spotlight myself again. First of all, thank you to all. Wow, we have 60 people, 60 households here tuning into this incredible debate, the first ever pre-perm debate here in Toco Hills. We just discussed neighborhoods. We just discussed land. We are now going to discuss food. Topic number 2 is on the topic of food. The way we listed it was as I might be pronouncing this wrong, lahmacun, which is representing Middle Eastern ethnic Jewish foods against kasha varnishkas, representing the Hamish European foods. And we have representing the purple team, Josh Kahn on the Middle Eastern foods, and we have Elisheva Storch representing the European foods. Before we jump into topic number 2, I'm just going to share my screen and show you guys a quick video, which I think is in the spirit of the month, and you'll be able to relate to before we dive right in. So just sit tight.
You got to share your computer sound, Rabbi.
What did you say, Shlomo?
You got to share your computer sound. We can't hear it.
Oh, what am I doing wrong? Sound's not off.
Under the share screen option, there should be some more options.
Hang on. Oh, it could be because I have Bluetooth on. That's probably why. Hang on.
Shouldn't matter.
No?
Nope. There's a share sound.
Okay, let's start this one more time. Sorry, guys.
As you share it, there's a box on the bottom that says share sound.
Okay. How about now? Did you guys hear that?
No.
Nope.
Still not.
It should be in your Zoom settings.
1 second.
Send it to me. I can do it. Just text it, chat it to me if you want.
Okay, I'm doing that right now. Stop share. Okay,
Seinfeld is always worth waiting for. Where does it start?
Right where it is.
You can't see my screen. How do you know?
What?
What are you doing? I got 3 kitchens. What the hell is going on here? kitchens go. I got brisket going at Newman's. I got Kugel working at Mrs. Sanfino's, and this is Kreplach. Yeah. Try some of this.
No, I don't want to.
Eat. Your skin and bones. Huh?
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, Jerry. It's Kreplach. It's an acquired taste, yeah. No, now.
Did you follow the recipe?
The recipe was for 4 to 6 people. I had to multiply it for 183 people. I guess I got confused.
Tastes like dirt.
Well, I also dropped it on the way over. Trouble, I got no skills. I can't peel, I can't chop, I can't grate, I can't mince. I got no sense of flavor, obviously. You know, I gotta talk to Frank.
Kramer, you can't
No, I've gotta talk to him. I know that he can help me.
I think there's a dead animal in the elevator.
My stuffed cabbage.
Excellent. On that note, we will now turn the floor over to our friend Josh Khan, representing the purple team, who will be defending the honor of Middle Eastern ethnic Jewish foods. Take it away, Josh.
All right, first, what is Sephardi food? It is warm, cosmopolitan, full of spices, meat, vegetables, and the best foods Jewish traders could find all over the world. We have Moroccan tagines with lamb or beef, carrots, plums, with spices like cumin, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, turmeric, cilantro. We have Middle Eastern pies like barekas. We have cheese pies from the Ottoman Empire. And what do we have in Ashkenazi food? It's pretty much just Polish food with some salted herring thrown in. And there are good food countries and there are bad food countries out there. And the Jews of Europe did not live in good food countries. Have you ever heard of a Polish restaurant? No. And there's a really good reason for that. It's pretty much just cabbage, potatoes, and chicken. And the main regional variation is how much sugar you put in your cabbage. Now we've got 2 recipes we're supposed to talk about here as an example. We've got kashka varnishkas and we've got lachmajin. So what are kasha varnishkas, which I really have only eaten once in my life, and there's a good reason for that. What are they made out of? Pulled a couple recipes. 2 cups of chopped onions, a half cup of oil, kasha, pepper, and bow tie noodles. Now, does anybody actually like kasha? Kasha is horrible. It's buckwheat, and nobody likes buckwheat. Why? Who would actually want to eat this food? This is disgusting, and it's peasant food. It's poor. Only thing I have here is the buckwheat growing in Northern Europe because nothing better grows. It's not food you would eat by choice. And lachmajin, on the other hand, for people who haven't had it, it's basically like a pizza made of meat. It's delicious. It's dough. It's like a little pizza dough. And on top of it, you have ground beef, onions, tomato paste, lemon, tamarind paste, allspice, cinnamon. It's a meat pizza. What's not to love about that? It's just better food. And you've seen us here in America. Even Ashkenazim now eat Sephardi food. Even the most white potato kugel Ashkenazim now eat Sephardi food like hummus. Where do you think that comes from? Stuffed grape leaves, carrot garlic salad, falafel, shakshuka. And even Ashkenazi food itself has become Sephardi food. Let's talk about the big favorites here, herring and cholent. When we eat herring, we do it in a very Sephardi style now. Look at Spicy Peach's fancy herring section. Is it
Excuse me.
Okay, Josh, I think you'll have a chance to continue to wax eloquent, and it has been very really impressive. But before we do that, we're going to invite Elisheva Storch to take it away on behalf of the Ashkenazi cuisine, and specifically kasha varnishkas, and perhaps you can enlighten us on how to properly pronounce that dish. Take it away.
All right, thanks everyone for being here. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Rabbi, for the introduction. I greatly appreciate it. Now, what my opponent wants you to believe is that Middle Eastern fare is made up of rich, diverse, beautiful, delicious foods. And I can't argue that point. Truly, I can't. But what I'm here to tell you, honestly, is that at the end of the day, what kasha varnishkas bring to you is the heimishkeit that's inside of all of us. The heimishkeit that needs to be inside of all of us. It's our essence, it's our mamas, it's our tatas, and that is where we come from. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was first married, my husband turned to me, Erev Yom Kippur, and he says, Elisheva, where are the kreplach? And I said, Shlomi, I don't know what you're talking about. What's a kreppel? And he said, you're going to call my mother right now and get a recipe because for Erev Yom Kippur, we need kreplach. So I called up my mother-in-law and I said, Ma, please, can you help me? I need kreplach for Yontif. And she says, oh, don't worry, I have a perfect recipe for you right here. It's Bubby's recipe. A little flour, a little salt, a little water, mix it up, add some meat, and you've got your kreplach. So I was very confused. It took me many years, but now I am making the perfect kreppel, and you can all come and try it. I invite you to come. But really, that's what this is about, because we all know at the end of the day, when you walk into a house that is in the middle of simmering a cholent, a kugel is in the oven, and kasha varnishkas are on the stove, that smell, it's ta'ame gan eden. It is all that you need to have. That smell will lift you. It will raise you up, and it will nourish your very soul.
Wow. Two very passionate defenders of different types of cuisine. Josh Kahn, would you like to have a minute for a rebuttal?
Yeah, that's a lot of schmaltz for really bad food. Torah is about makadishing the physical world. It's about taking the best of the world around us and turning it to spiritual means. We don't have to do that only with cabbage and schmaltz. We should do it with spices. We should do it with the best the world has to offer. And if our ancestors in Poland or Lithuania had access to food that was not awful, they would have served that at the Shabbos table. They wouldn't have just taken some flour and gussied it up a little bit. And I wanted to get back to what I was saying a little bit about how Ashkenazi food is now turning into Sephardi food. You go to Spicy Peach, you look at the herring section. What's more Ashkenazi than herring? We're pretty much the only people who eat this. But does anybody actually want to eat the schmaltz herring at Kiddush? No. They go for the spiced up herring full of all the spices that they never would have served in Lithuania. They've got the za'atar herring. Where do you think the za'atar's from? They've got the jalapeno herring. Nobody's going to eat that weird Dutch pickle herring. That's the stuff that doesn't get touched in the corner. So we've made Sephardi food, we made Ashkenazi food into Sephardi food. We don't even eat Ashkenazi food in an Ashkenazi way anymore. And that's because it just isn't as good.
Okay, excellent. Take it away, Mr. Storch.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, and I respect that point of view. I can hear it, and I can relate to it on some level. But really, truly, it's not about the gashmias here. We're not talking about the essence of physicality, right? What we're really talking about, and on this point, I think that we can all agree that I'm the only one on this panel that can really relay this point, and that is time. It's time, right? Because the mamas are in the kitchen cooking, and we need to have more time. So the Hamish food, the kasha varnishkas, it's noodles, it's bow tie noodles, it's onions, it's oil, and it's kasha. You throw it all together, you have a delicious dish to serve your family when they come home at night. And much as we're capable and able and willing to multitask, right? Our mamas in the Haim, they understood this, and they recognize that we need all the time we could get, at the same time feeding our family, infusing them with the delicious smell, the delicious feeling.
So I'm gonna have to cut you off here, because I cook too, and I cook a lot of this food. So what did I make last Friday night? Without knowing this topic, by the way, I made a Moroccan tagine. You know how easy it was? I took a crock pot. I took some of the cholent beef from Steve's. I threw it in the pot. I threw some carrots from Kroger in there. I didn't even cut the things up. They were the baby carrots. Put some cinnamon in. I put some cloves in. I put some onions I chopped up in there.
Okay,
and you know how much it took me? It took me 10 minutes, and it was delicious.
That's already way more than I put into a cholent. It's already way more.
And I did it quicker. So what's the time point?
I'm speaking. Thank you. You'll have your turn. Thank you.
You have your turn. Go for it.
It's really just about that essence of feeling of Hamish, of connecting to our ancestry in a way that still gives us the time to tend to our children. And I have to tell you, on the point of you being male and cooking in the kitchen, I come from a line. My father makes chocolate chip cookies every single week, and he's actually famous for them. He made the challenge every single week growing up. So I'm not anti-men in the kitchen. In fact, I'm very, very, I hope, Shlomo, you listening? Very, very pro men in the kitchen. Yeah. But it's really about saving everybody's time, because Josh Khan, I'm sure you're busy as well. Wouldn't you like to buy more time in your life?
Why don't I send Shlomo some spices and we'll see how this works out.
Shlomo,
Okay.
spices. We're gonna full spice drop.
I prefer
Okay,
spark.
excellent job. Excellent job to both of you. We're on schedule here tonight. Really passionate, really very passionate defenders of both types of cuisine. Really appreciate both of you for coming on. Just to wrap things up, just to give people a summary of where we're holding. We've already covered two hot button topics. The first one was the better side of the neighborhood. North of La Vista Road, we had Natan Karendian. South of La Vista Road, we had Yehonatan Schwartzmer representing Team Orange. And that quickly devolved into a argument over which side has better donuts, which provided a wonderful segue into our most recent, very, very passionate conversation about different kinds of food. And I want to thank so far all four of the participants in this debate. I would like to welcome Rabbi Feldman, who is a judge for the other games, who is here with us and hopefully dispersing points. And keep an eye on the chat, where I'm sure he'll be giving out points. But that was great. So that's on that note, we're going to cross into our third topic for tonight. And the third topic, this one, I don't see any way this can become about food, although I wouldn't put it past us, considering the group that we're with. This is going to be about sports. So we have, representing the purple team, we have Alex Cohen representing purple team. He's going to make a passionate case for why lacrosse is the superior sport over water polo. And then, of course, defending water polo and is going to be Rabbi Yehuda Pollack, who is from Team Orange. And so on that note, we're going to turn the floor over to Alex Cohen. We're going to give you 2 minutes. You'll see a countdown clock once you start running out of time. Alex, let's spotlight you, and you can start.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with a little introduction for the people that don't know who I am. I'm Alex Cohen. I am Beryl and Debbie's son. I am originally from New York, which may make the aforementioned Civil War ghost a little bit angry. I'm sorry, but we won, so get over it. So, lacrosse versus water polo. Now, let me tell you, have you ever seen a lacrosse player? They dress like, a football player, but with shorts on, because, I don't know, it's a uniform. Water polo players look ridiculous. They got their little hats on with their goggles and these tiny little swimsuits, and they just run around in the water making a fool of themselves. Now, in lacrosse, it's its own sport. You've got the sticks with the nets, you've got the balls. It's its own whole thing. Water polo is a worse derivative of real polo, which is played on horses with hammers. There are no hammers or horses involved in water polo. If you're going to try and imitate a real sport, at least, try and get some seahorses, because at least those can go in the water. Frankly, it's embarrassing when you name your sport after another better sport. How much more time do I have?
You have 20 more seconds, so you're welcome to use it, or you can give it to your colleague.
I think I've said all I need to say.
Okay, well, there you go. This man is pretty confident about his argument. And so we are now going to turn the floor over to Rabbi Yehuda Pollack. Let's spotlight him. Okay, Rabbi Pollack.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rabbi Tendler. So number one, I think that thing that we could agree upon most easily here is we're all proud to be Jews. And water polo is a very Jewish sport. We all know that when Avraham Avinu went to go do the Akedah, the Satan challenged him to a game of water polo, which Avraham won. And it happened as well after Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim challenged us to water polo, and they did not do well. By the way, there were horses, and they didn't do well either. Lacrosse, on the other hand, is a very Christian sport. We know that Jesus was very hung up on lacrosse. So that's number one. Number two is the idea of playing in water is great. Everyone loves going to the pool. Everyone loves going to the beach. Everyone loves sports. How could you not make one thing better by putting another better thing with it? And playing in water gives you superpowers. I personally know. I made my mother-in-law get a basketball hoop for her pool. And guess what? I can dunk. Now, regular basketball, so the hoop 10 feet high, right? Me with my hands up all the way in the air, about 6 feet high. When I jump, I'm still 4 feet away from the net. But guess what? In the water, magic. You can just dunk. The CDC has released no evidence that COVID can spread through water. Never said anything about lacrosse. And it's way safer. Anyone twisted their ankle playing water polo? Not as far as I know. You can take a drink and you stay cool while you're playing. Best sport, hands down.
Wow, excellent, Rabbi Pollack. Alex, would you like an opportunity to rebut Rabbi Pollack's comments?
I would love one. So, now you are talking about lacrosse, and it's a cross that Jesus hung on it, yes. But remember who hung him there? That was us. So if you think about it, the cross is really more Jewish than Christian. Because that was us. He didn't make it. He just died on it. Now, speaking of dying.
Any historians who want to jump in here?
No, it's fine. The church said it. That's what happened. So we'll go with them.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so now speaking of dying on things, you know how many people die on land? A lot. You know how people drown? More. You know which one is scarier? Drowning.
I got to cut you off right there. There's absolutely no way that more people die in water than die on land.
I didn't say more people died. I just said that drowning was worse.
I'm pretty sure death is bad both ways.
Yes, but which one is a lot more horrifying? Drowning. I'm not going to go into detail because nobody wants to hear that. Now, also, with the magic and the dunking and such, you don't need to dunk in lacrosse. All you need to do is be able to run and swing a stick. And honestly, isn't that what we're best at? We're really good at swinging sticks around. We do it every year on Sukkot.
What kind of color one?
Also, with your remark about the horses, exactly. You try and make real polo into water polo, you die.
What?
There's no risk of death by horse or drowning in lacrosse. Lacrosse is statistically a much safer sport. Nobody looked that up to fact check me. I have no idea if that's true. Now, in regards to drinking, I don't know what you're drinking, but you're probably not supposed to be drinking chlorinated water. I would not recommend drinking pool water. Now, when you're in water polo, I'm sure you've seen the picture of the guy drinking the water while in the pool. That's just silly looking. You look much sillier playing water polo than you ever will playing
At least
lacrosse.
you're still in the field, you know? If you go to take a drink in lacrosse, someone's going to score a goal on you. You're going to lose.
You also have to move to the side to drink water in water polo. You're not allowed to drink in the game.
It's right there. You stay cool. You don't need a.
Are you drinking pool water? You have to get your water bottle. Drinking pool water is very bad for you. Don't do that.
You know, it also counts as going to the mikvah while you're there, assuming the filter's off. So you get a mitzvah actually while playing water polo.
Well, that's only if you take your shorts off. And again, I don't think they'll let you do that in a water polo game.
All right, I had no comment on that. You have to go find a different piece of paper. Okay.
I don't have a child interrupting me.
Is he playing lacrosse? You should just know. I have a cousin played lacrosse. I'm sure you guys all heard. Oh no, actually, it's not like famous. Nobody knows him. It's just lacrosse.
And how many water polo players can you name?
I can't, but I don't have one that was my cousin. And I checked into the monetary compensation for playing lacrosse. A major league lacrosse player makes about $10,000 to $25,000 a year. So that would not pay for my mortgage. people playing water polo, they make on average $75,000 a year, which not only would pay for my mortgage, but also you'd have room to sponsor things like the Adar Games, Mission to Madness, and other integral programs to our community.
If you're in it for the money, you're doing the sport wrong.
Tell that to LeBron and just about anybody else.
I mean, when they got into it, they weren't making that much money. You know, you start for the love of the game, not for the money. If you start for the money, you're not going to do very well because nobody's going to want you.
All right. Well,
okay. Okay, I think both of you had an ample opportunity to share some very compelling arguments. I think you guys really got into it, and we appreciate this. So this wraps up topic number 3. I don't know if Rabbi Feldman gave out any points during this round, but we're keeping tabs. This whole thing's being recorded, and we'll be going back. The judges will be going back tomorrow to replay all the great details of this epic debate taking place here tonight online at the Adar Games. And we've now covered ground. We've debated the better part of the neighborhood. We've debated food. That got very passionate. We've debated now sports. That was actually a lot more passionate than I expected. And with that, we're going to now go into the 4th segment of the evening. We are actually very much on schedule. We started at 8:30. It's now 9:16. We've gone through 3 segments and we have 1 segment left. This last segment is going to be a surprise topic. 2 seasoned debaters, both of whom are actually attorneys, who are both very seasoned, will be defending their teams. And the topic is going to, I'm going to tell you the topic in a moment. Hang on. Okay, and the topic, let me first tell you who's representing who. So representing Team Purple, we have Rabbi Dr. Moshe Goldfeder, lawyer, rabbi, law professor, and representing Team Orange, we have Rabbi Aaron Golding, very seasoned attorney, rabbi as well. So we have 2 rabbis who are also lawyers, and they are about to hear the topic that they have to Okay, everyone buckle your seatbelts, hang on. Again, great technology. Right now we have almost close to 70 households represented here. It's a lot of people. And the topic they are going to debate for topic number 4 is sermon or no sermon. That's the topic for tonight. Sermon or no sermon. I know I just saw the Needleman's faces. I know we're pushing the envelope here. This is playing with fire a little bit, but we are going to give Team Purple. Rabbi Dr. Moshe Goldfeder is going to defend the sermon option. He's going to defend sermon, and Rabbi Aaron Golding will be defending the no sermon position. If they would like a few seconds to gather their thoughts, we could definitely do that. But otherwise, we are going to turn the floor over first to Rabbi Goldfeder representing Purple. Shlomo Storch in the comments is asking if they all have water and yarmulkes with them. So we can give them a moment to gather themselves. And Josh is asking if it's Rabbi Feldman's sermon or sermons in general. Well, that's up to the debaters to decide. So we'll see where that goes. I'm going to cancel my spotlight. Let's give it over to Rabbi Goldfeder. And okay, take it away.
All right, you said I'm defending the sermon?
Yes, you are the pro sermon.
Got it. Well,
side. Go ahead.
I think there's probably been a little bit of a confusion because this is actually a shul event. The word sermon has 2 meanings. The lesser known meaning, the informal meaning, but still part of the dictionary definition, is a long or tedious piece of admonition or reproof, right? The giving over of Musar. And I think if we can all agree that there's a fundamental aspect of Judaism which is integral, it's the giving over of the sermonic Musar, which is essentially a tradition we've been carrying on for close to 4,000 years, so 5,000 depending on who you ask. And if you think about it in a way, much of what we do, whether it's humor or whether it's celebration and causes, is all about trying to teach other people a lesson. For example, Purple is teaching Orange a little bit about the finer arts of debate and reframing your argument and making sure that the other side is caught even more off guard than you were just moments ago. And that's an important lesson, and that can serve sermonically as Musar for them next year to try and be a little bit more agile and quick on their feet as they think about what they're going to talk about in the next series of debates.
Okay. Let's give Rabbi Golding an opportunity to share the no sermon perspective. Go ahead, Rabbi Golding. You have to just unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, for those that don't know me, I just want to introduce myself as somebody who's friends with David Schoen. I think that's the only introduction that I need. I would like to highlight the fact that sermons are the cause of why Trump lost the election, why Georgia went to the Democrats, and it actually leads to rampant desecration of Shabbos. Most sermons are in the background run by Amalek. You should just know that. So, and all of the, everything that I am mentioning is statistically proven by Trump's reelection team, and they have proven it over and over again. There's really no need to debate that. Everybody knows that the greatest cause of sleep in the United States are rabbinic sermons. That's just fact. And we know that everybody walks out on sermons. Nobody listens anyway. They're long, they're tedious, as my colleague mentioned. If you were to take a poll and see which minyan will people go to, and you have the exact same minyan, one with a longer sermon and one with a shorter sermon, you're gonna find statistics show every single time, 10 out of 10 people are gonna go to the shorter sermon. That's just the way it's gonna be. And I'll just end with my Zadie's line. He told a rabbi after his sermon, he said, "You spoke very well, but not as well as if you wouldn't have spoken at all." I yield the rest of my time.
Wow. Rabbi Goldfeder.
I would like to hear more about the Trump connection. I found that very fascinating, completely and utterly irrelevant, but very fascinating. I see that you want to talk about, despite the fact that I want to highlight it for the moderators, that we shifted the debate away from the Schultz sermon into the more generic sermon. But if you want to talk about the Schultz sermon, who can forget Rabbi Foxbrunner's early sermons, where he gave everybody all kinds of life hacks about how to drive on ice and how to vacuum various things around the show. If anyone recalls those early days, we learned a lot about our new incoming 9 a.m. rabbi, and it was a way for us to really connect with him. So the Schultz sermon is a way of, I would say, humanizing the rabbi and making them really a part of our lives in a way that they can't always be. Of course, if there are people who give bad sermons, that would be different. Now, I don't want to cast any aspersions. I didn't say anything about bad sermons. Rabbi Golding appears to be complaining about someone who gives bad sermons. And frankly, I found it offensive. I found the whole thing offensive. You know, he's on this call, Rabbi Golding, you know, a little bit, come on. But if that is sort of the tack you're going to take, where you're going to malign a man, a Rav of a community who's given his life, I would say, and just to do that in this forum, it shocks the conscience in a way that I think would even embarrass former President Trump.
Rabbi Golding.
Well, I just want to say that everything that Councillor Goldfeder said is just fake news and really has no relevance to the matter, and it's just, you know, demagoguing the issue. So, you know, I do want to mention about Rabbi Foxbrunner's sermon. You know, that was one of the better sermons. Statistics do show that after that sermon where he told people how to drive on ice, accidents rose 86% directly after that sermon. Enough said.
I was waiting for an apology to Rabbi Feldman. I'll yield my time back if I can urge you there. I think the community needs healing at this point. What we need is unity. I think we've all been through a lot, and you know, this is not what we need right now. I think the country, Biden has called for it. I think the House managers made their case that the sermon is important, and I would ask that you just acknowledge that.
I will agree, and I will drink to that.
Okay. On that note, wonderful job, Judge Rabbi Feldman, and we see that you're here. And since you kind of crept into the subject of this last topic, would you like to say some things before we wrap up the evening?
For the first time in my life, I am utterly speechless.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna need a lot of time to get over this.
Okay, wonderful. Well, unfortunately, it's already 9:25. We did commit to staying on schedule tonight, and I think we did so. We started on time. We went through 4 very important issues. We covered best neighborhood. We covered different types of food. We covered sports, and of course, we covered the shock surprise topic of the evening: sermon or no sermon. I'd like to thank all of our participants representing Team Purple. We had Natan Karindian, we had Josh Kahn, we had Alex Cohen, we had Rabbi Moshe Goldfeder. Representing Team Orange, we had Yehonatan Schwartzmer, Eli Sheva Storch, Rabbi Yehuda Pollack, and Rabbi Aaron Golding. I'd like to thank everyone here for tuning in for this second major piece of the competition of the Adar Games. It's only day 2. We still have at least another 9-10 days ahead of us, so it's been pretty exciting so far. Look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow night. There is a major sports trivia game. So contact your team captains and get to work on sports trivia. I know Rabbi Feldman would do remarkably well on that, but he's unfortunately he's a judge. He can't be there on behalf of a team. But that's something everyone should look into. And we appreciate you being with us. Have a great night. Happy Adar. And that is all. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Orange Crush.
Great job, everyone.
No matter what happens.
Excellent job. Excellent job, everyone.
Just saying, drinking orange soda while you're on Team Orange is a little bit horrifying. Cannibalism should not be encouraged.
Does anybody want to stay and fight it out? I'm down for that. Rabbi Tendler, do you have a problem?
Yeah, we could do an after hours. We could certainly do an after hours. Like, what is this? The green room? The spin room? If anybody thinks anything was unfair.
I think I owe Shlomo an apology for making him have to cook this week.
I hope the references were given. We had a few. We're taking. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, I think being the only female should get me some extra points.
I believe so. It takes a lot to quiet down Josh Kahn, and you know.
But I was youngest debater and from New York, so I think we should also get extra points.
Yeah, it's true. He's a Yankee.
Hey, I did time in New York. Watch yourself.
Wow, what are you saying about my state? Did time? What? It's like it's a prison? You were able to leave.
Exactly what it is.
Okay, actually, I can't argue with that. Have you seen the amount of snow that's up there? Nobody can leave their house.
No, and we're trying to avoid the nursing homes there as well. I heard it's horrific.
Just avoid the whole state.
Yes, we make that. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm here. So.
Yeah, I gotta say, across the board, Yehuda, fantastic.
That was awesome.
I'm saying this objectively.
Even with a kid in the background.
Oh my gosh! I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we had this stuff recorded. There's some gems in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of these are classics. I'm sitting here gagging. They're so funny. People were really good, really good.
Alex, you did a great job. But the delivery of Jesus on lacrosse was the best.
Lacrosse.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very good.
That was a lot of fun. Bye-bye.
All right. Josh Yahaski will notice Joel disappeared. Like the second there was like, any real discussion, he can't handle it.
He's on WhatsApp. He's back on WhatsApp trolling everyone.
Okay. That's good. All right. Good fun here. Can we get like the scores released in a way that so we can see who won on each round?
Yeah.
By the way, who won last night?
Purple.
Me.
Purple won last night.
Oh.
But I think it's apparent who won tonight. I mean,
who won for them?
Pretty obvious.
It's clear purple is the Falcons in the Super Bowl in this case.
we won it for purple last night, just saying.
Yeah, to Josh's points, there's still at least 4 minutes left to go.
We got time.
Yeah.
We got time.
And Greek mythology
Get
was
the
really
reference now.
I didn't hear it.
My family.
Josh,
those
what
who are
is that
listening-
thing?
What's that?
What is that thing in Josh's background? Oh. All right, that's right.
That's Josh Joel.
Yeah, so we'll release the scoring for tonight in tomorrow's email.
Got it.
Did we ever figure out if my opponent wasn't a Civil War ghost?
He's back. He's
We
there.
did. We figured it out.
Yeah, he's back. He's here.
Nathan, he lives on your childhood street. You can go visit him.
It's okay. I'll be back soon enough, Rabbi. Don't worry.
As the official coach for my debate captain here, Elisheva,
But now you're going to take the credit.
No, I prepped her on using one of Ben Shapiro's famous lines, facts don't care about your emotions. The problem is that she was much more emotional than you were, Josh. So it wasn't appropriate to use
I actually at one point thought of using it, but I realized I couldn't.
You couldn't. You're getting a little too worked up there.
Shlomo, you seem like you're getting yourself in trouble right now.
Okay.
Nah.
No, it's all good. The funny thing is I prefer Sephardic Middle Eastern food. Spicier the better. So anyway, I just want to say one other ironic piece of information. Rabbi Golding was supposed to deliver the sermon this Shabbos.
That's awesome. You can't make that up.
He traded it for this because he didn't want to do it. And that was a
You should have
surprise.
brought that up. It would have been good evidence for him.
Yeah, it would have been. All right. Yeah.